Hey, how y'all doing? Really appreciate you all covering our first day of spring football. You all make our game what it is, and really appreciate you all support. And you're definitely welcome to come out as much as you can for spring ball, summer workouts, and anything else. I think your coverage helps our fan base, our student athletes, and we appreciate your efforts and hard work and everything you do and making our sport what it is. First day of spring ball, day one is in the books. Very enthused bunch of kids. Had actually a big scuffle, which was exciting to kind of see. A totally different team right now. We got 15 mid-year high school kids, first time practicing college. Then we added 15 kids out of portal and also 8 junior college kids. So definitely a new 2025 Georgia State football team. You can definitely see how hard they've worked in the offseason with our winter program and our fourth quarter conditioning program, and the camaraderie, connection, and all the things that's going to make this program excel is showing up. And can't say enough to our seniors and the leadership and the guys that did return. It's very important to have that stability so they can connect and show our new players how we practice and how we do things. We have a new defensive coordinator twice. That was an interesting ordeal, but we thank Kevin Sherr for all the work he did for us, along with Darren Wilson, who was here for basically 5 weeks, and Travis Pearson's going to do an outstanding job, and he's already established what we're going to be in our identity and how we're going to operate on defense. Same thing on offense with Coach Jackson. Wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, just making sure all 3 phases are on the same page, and that's what spring football is for. This is probably my favorite time of the year because you get a chance to establish the culture and how things are going to be laid, and you can kind of see the makings of something special. And I've told our football team this already. I know what good football teams look like, and we got one. So we just got to continue to get better, 1% better every single day, keep our goals in mind, and make great decisions on and off the football field. Now open up for questions.
Yeah, can you talk about the difference of this year? You've been able to choreograph all the way to this point through the winter and doing regular recruiting, whereas last year at this time you hadn't even had this job. So the difference this year with being able to control everything to this point now, getting into spring ball.
Yeah, just got a deeper connection because like all the guys we did add, I know their families, I know girlfriends and everything about them as people. So I know everyone's name. So that part of learning and knowing your team and who they are and what they bring to the table is very important, and the coaches that are on staff had a big dealing and involvement with that. So there's that connection piece of being here, going through an off-season, a true off-season, where we're able to get out at 6 in the morning and challenge their mental toughness as well as their physical toughness with the fourth quarter program, and just all the strength gains that I've seen, the body makeups change, and even the people we brought in, just great character people, very competitive. You'll definitely see a different makeup from a size standpoint with our current roster, and I'm just very pleased on where we are. We're definitely not a finished product. We still got to get on the same page in all 3 phases. We're still learning one another, still learning each other's whys. We're kind of doing a deep dive into the All Blacks as a team right now, and we'll be talking about sweeping the sheds tomorrow. So really encouraged by the growth of our team and taking ownership and getting to know one another and taking all those growth groups very seriously.
Mentioned in your opening statement that you think this is a good football team. You mentioned just now size, but what are some of the other specifics that make you kind of feel good about where this team's going?
Got competition at every single position. I think the depth is there. Of course, barring any injuries, you always got to adapt with that. But I definitely see the depth. It's going to be competitive. I feel like we're 3 deep in most positions where it's not a huge difference or a big drop off from a talent standpoint. Now it comes a level of the football IQ and not making minimal mistakes and, playing the game the right way and doing what's needed and all the details and the minute things that is required for us to be successful for each and every play. But just like I said, I know what a good team looks like, and I feel like we have one.
You mentioned new coordinators, a couple other coaching changes as well, and not all of them were chosen by you, but is there a sense of, there needing to be a shakeup after last year? And then can you just talk about some of the other lower assistants that you also brought in?
Yeah, sometimes you have to go and self-evaluate and kind of look at how the season progressed, and I definitely did that. And, I appreciate everyone that was on our prior staff, and I appreciate the guys we have now. The new world of college football is definitely tougher. G5 probably tougher because when you perform well or you don't perform well, changes are going to be made, and we're going to be in a constant development phase with our younger coaches, trying to bring them up to speed and put them in positions to be leaders in this program under my leadership. And when those guys get opportunities to move up or seek higher paying jobs, I have to be able to replace those guys with competent coaches and more importantly, great mentors and leaders of men, and also that's going to influence kids the right way.
Coach, when it's the first year of a program and you're getting to know the guys, does the second year allow you to kind of really be able to implement more? The guys get to know you. They know who you are, what you want to do. Are you able to do more in that second year, do you feel like? I can't say that because the retention is harder for us. So it's going to be a new team, in my opinion, every single year. I mean, it's just if you look across the landscape of what's going on in college football, I mean, the continuity and keeping guys 2, 3, 4 years, I think is kind of out the window. I've kind of put the mindset of basically we're like a junior college type mindset. You're going to get an older guy for 6 months and he's going to play a season and go to the NFL, or get a younger guy that's really talented that's going to perform well, and bigger schools are going to, pay him money. So the days of having continuity, I think, are over for G5 level schools, and we're not going to make excuses about that. And I'm embracing that. You're going to lose players, but you got to make sure the ones that you do acquire, they're made of the right stuff, and got to do all your research for us, injuries, character, and things of that sort. But that's why we're going to be so vital and so instrumental with high school recruiting. Just feel like there's so many great players in our 5-hour radius, and we're still going to attack it from that aspect. One last thing for me, having Hugh not only as a voice there as a coach, but just his presence and what he brings. Just tell me what his influence. Guys probably know who that is, and he just carries himself, and his presence probably he gets a lot of respect right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's been in this game 50-plus years. He's been a coordinator, been a head coach at the highest level. Just how he mentors the other coaches, and just the collaboration and allowing our coaches to be who they are, but at the same time, he's going to demand a standard on that side of the ball and hold the coaches accountable. But the thing that all our coaches, I don't think, especially our young ones, they got to take a deeper appreciation of the veteran coaches that we do have and learn from them, because I can guarantee when they do get opportunities to move up, they're going to look back and say, I really learned a lot from our veteran coaches.
I know it's early days, not going to single out as a leader or anything at quarterback, but just the group that you've got there, what can you say about them? And it seemed like you brought in more mobility in the offseason, the guys you added.
Yeah, all 4 guys that we brought in, Christian Bayer, who played last year, along with Cam Brown and P.J. Hatter and T.J. Stanley, the mid-year high school guy. All 3 guys have mobility. They can run. They're built sturdy. PJ's probably the lightest, but he is the fastest of the bunch. He's a lefty as well, so it's always a little bit different teaching and having a lefty in the room. But all the guys are really attacking the playbook, trying to learn the details of their assignments. We're not making it where we're calling certain plays for to fit a skill set, because we're trying to establish our offense the way it is. And once the quarterback depth charts are kind of set, we'll kind of get into what does this guy do best? Can we cater certain plays for this player? So we'll get into those things after spring ball and actually once we get into summer and fall camp.
What do you like about the skill guys you brought in from both high school and then the transfer JUCO world?
Yeah, a lot of speed at the receiver position, defensive back position, a lot of length in our secondary. And we still got 8 other high school kids that hadn't gotten here that I'm really excited about. So once we get our full arsenal and survive the portal, the next cycle it opens, I think we're going to be have the foundation laid to do some special things. That's the one thing you can't control is the portal. And what happens in April, that for those 10 days, we got to be on top of our players along with trying to acquire the right guys because we're going forever. Make sure we don't let no stone go unturned, and we're constantly evaluating guys even right now with anticipation of the larger schools, having to cut rosters. I guess we're going to cut rosters. I mean, we're supposed to be going to 105, but there hadn't been definite word, but we are planning on our roster being 105 with 85 scholarship players. And unfortunately, some of the guys on our roster now may not be with us because of those number cuts. So we'll just plan accordingly and see what happens. I would say we're ahead because we got so many new guys, new coaches, so we're still getting on the same page. But I just, like I said, I know the players because we recruited them. We were in their homes. They were here. They visited us. We know them. They know us. So we went through the offseason, like I said. So the mental aspect, the mental toughness that our offseason program requires brings all of our players and coaches together, and just us having our growth groups, learning about each other as well as the players learning about the coaches, I think, establishes that connection that, really good for. If you're going to be a really good football team, you're going to need that connection.
You added a fair amount of junior college players along the offensive line and on defense. Do you think, you've talked about the changing world of college football, there's more of a lane for G5s to go into the JUCO ranks because power conferences might be looking at the portal with all the guys that are in there?
Yeah, we're looking at everything. So it's junior college, the Division II players that go in the portal, NAIA that goes in the portal, Division III. I mean, if you're talented, just like the NFL, they have a motto of finding talent no matter where you play. I mean, we're under that same model. So we're going to make sure everyone that goes into the portal, we're evaluating them, seeing where they're from, being players that go in the portal that are from Georgia or Atlanta area. It brings up our antennas really high, and we'll make sure we do a great evaluation and see if there are some prior connections there. Just hopefully, NCAA will get a hold on some of the things, the tampering of players. My players getting contacted now, which is sad, but it's just what it is, and we just got to make sure we're connecting with our guys and show them that, just because bigger schools are contacting you and they may be offering more money, but the opportunity for you has to be what you want to get out of life. So every opportunity is not a great opportunity for the success or trying to make it to that next level. But everyone has their reasons for choosing to go to other schools. And, we're going to welcome it because it's a model. So I know we lost a major contributor in Dorian Fleming. But at the same token, that's just the next tight end that we're going to be able to recruit out of high school or out of the portal and say, hey, we got 48 catches for you if you're skilled enough to do so. And if you do, you may end up going big or you may go to the NFL. So I'm not looking at it as a negative. Just you got to embrace it and just understand you're going to lose players and you got to be ready to replace them.
One non-spring question, you guys are going to play a home-and-home with Kennesaw State coming up. I'm just curious, from your standpoint, why do you think it was a good time to do that, and why is it important to kind of have those two schools play each other since they're both, in the metro area?
Yeah, I think our administration, Charlie Cobb and President Dr. Blake, they make those type of decisions. Whoever we just have to play, we have to play. I mean, I wish we didn't have to play Memphis and Ole Miss and Vandy, but you know what? That's what happens. And but it's great for our city. It's definitely a financial game for both schools. And I love to play Georgia Tech. Anytime you can play close by and have Atlanta schools playing each other, or even University of Georgia, I think is outstanding for the state, and it gives the kids an opportunity and creates somewhat of a rivalry in our state outside of our conference.
You mentioned, I think, 15 early enrollees. What's the benefit of
15
that?
high school?
High school, yeah.
Or 15 portal?
We
got 15 portal, 15 high school, and 8 JUCOs.
Yeah, I guess especially for the high school guys, because they're coming early. I guess what's the benefit for them to be able to do so?
They got a chance to go through off-season workouts. They got a chance to get acclimated to classes, which is a little bit less strenuous, because they were able to go to school for 2 months without a heavy load of football. Now they're adding football, so it kind of shows them what it's kind of like during the season, minus the travel on the weekends. So it's always good, and those kids chose to be mid-years for a reason. They want to come in and learn. They want an opportunity to compete for a starting position, and that's what happens when you kind of speed up the curve. When you come early, you're able to get a better grasp of what's going on. But even the guys that come later, it's not too late for those guys either. So we really encourage, and we're going to be a program that's going to go out there and encourage high school kids to be mid-years. A lot of those kids were dual enrolled and outstanding students. A couple of state champions were signed out of that class. So definitely a great bunch of kids, not just football players, but just good people.
Yes, sir, definitely.
How's it been kind of taking maybe a leadership role with a bunch of new guys coming in?
I wouldn't particularly say that is anything new. I kind of had a leadership role last season. It was definitely smaller compared to this year, but I say it's been good. Just been able to, in my best way that I see fit, trying to create the culture for the team and get the camaraderie, especially with the defense, because that's what I have most control over. But overall, I say it's been pretty good, though.
And what's the difference of a fair number of new voices, including the new DC's got a secondary coaching background, just all the new coaches you're melding with now in this spring practice?
Definitely. I just feel like it's been good. I mean, the new coaches, they've been great so far. But, I mean, here at Georgia State, we really don't particularly put it in the coaches' hands. We have a mindset that as long as we control our culture and how we go along with things, the process should be smooth. So it's more about the guys that we have in the locker room and then the culture that we create.
Who are some of the guys, whether it's in your group or just on the defensive side of the ball, that you're maybe looking to challenge, maybe to see take that next step in this spring and going in the fall?
As far as becoming more so of a leader or
on the fields, or I guess whichever.
Right now,
direction
I'll say my main challenge that I face every day is the slot receivers. Like me and DJ Rouse, number 10, we go at it pretty hard. My boy J. Rob, I feel like he's I think he's a transfer from Grambling State, number 5. We go at it pretty hard, and then we got some younger guys in the slot. I mean, they give me challenges every day, so we're just making each other better.
The guys around you on the defensive side, you're looking to...
We got Demaine Wilson, number 5 now, our linebacker. He was like a freshman All-American, and now he's stepping up into a more of a leadership role. And I'm constantly challenging our cornerbacks to step up as well. And then we have safeties, DIC, Deuce Walker. Then we have our cornerbacks, Isaiah Guy, and then Jamaric Morris. So the guys in the back end, because at the end of the day, the trenches are certainly important, but at the back end, we can give up one play, and then the game could be changed. So I'm putting the pressure on the guys in the back end.
Your guy, as a veteran guy, what advice or strategy do you share with new players? We're in an era of college football where we're always going to have players moving in and out. But for the players who maybe weren't here last year, you were here last year. What do you tell them about Coach McGee, just the mentality here, and what it's like to play at Georgia State?
What it's like to play at Georgia State is not all about your talent, because I feel like guys get caught up in that they might feel like they're just the best in the room, but it's more so about how you thrive. What type of guy are you in the meeting room? Are you showing up to meals on time? Are you missing meals? Are you on time to the weight room? And in the weight room, are you giving it your all? So it's more the intangibles that you have and trying to build that, and that goes along with the culture too.
Piggyback on what I was asking earlier, a lot of the guys you just mentioned in the secondary were here last year on the team, played a good bit. How much do you think that helps you guys? It's more about continuing to gel rather than...
Nah, that helps us a lot because, I mean, you can always build a bond with guys in the off season, but nothing brings you together like being in that moment together, like being in that big game and depending on somebody to make that big play. Like personally, we call it that fire. So being in that fire, that creates the bond and the camaraderie.
How much more comfortable do you feel this year than you were last year?
A lot more comfortable, especially me. I came from Tennessee Tech and I had 2 coaches leave when I first got here. So being with the new coaches, I kind of didn't know what to expect, and I didn't even know if they would want me to be here. So I wouldn't say comfortable, because I feel like that goes along with complacency, but I definitely have a better feeling with the coaches going through the last season with them.
You kind of know what you need to do and where you need to be a little bit better.
Definitely. I definitely feel like I know my role on the team, especially I placed the team captain role on myself. So coming in every day and try to be consistent as possible and show the guys the same thing every day and just consistently doing the right things and giving the younger guys something to look at.
I guess, how's it been since the season ended, getting to this point, now getting into spring ball?
It's been good, man. Been chilling, you feel me? Now we're back to work, so everything just been falling in line, same old routine.
What are you hoping to get from this personally, through the spring, then going into the fall for you?
Yeah, working on the small things, like being a leader, you feel me? Trying to be a leader for the room, working on myself, like trying to better my craft just for the upcoming season.
How are you approaching spring this year compared to last year? What is new for you, and what do you think is new for Georgia State as you kind of look over this team after the first day of practice?
Yeah, so actually, like last year, I didn't even get a chance to be with Georgia State. I just had ended up getting here in the summer. So you feel me? It's really about creating a connection between everyone. You feel me? You feel me? Trying to know everybody. You feel me? Know your room. Trying to be a leader. Trying to help them learn the playbook. You feel me? Because everybody's adjusting at the same time. Man, work on myself and be better. Like learn the coverages, everything. Like that's going to help me separate myself when everything else is going on.
I guess a new offensive coordinator, but Coach Jackson was around last year, so I guess what's it like him being now in charge of the offense?
Yeah, it's not much of a change for real. You feel me? Everybody's still on the same page.
What have you done in the last 6-8 months or whatever to get better?
Really understanding the game, trying to understand the game. Personally, like watching a lot of film, like whether it's me or whether it's me watching somebody else or watching the league. You feel me? Being able to see like the other teams play like college football and what they do, like they just separate themselves. Like you feel me? Get separation on the field as a wide receiver. That's it.
When did you kind of start becoming comfortable last year? Because we looked at it and we were like, who's this guy? Where'd this guy come from?
Yeah. Really knowing I had the ability the whole time to do it, you feel me? Just put myself in position every day to go hard and practice it, because that's where it starts at, you feel me, leading into the week.
You were pretty confident of your own abilities, though, right? You think
Yes, sir.
you needed a chance?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Did you ever consider leaving, going some other place like some other guys have?
Nah, I was really locked in from the jump, you feel me? My main focus was not trying to worry about what everybody else got to say. Do personally what's best for me, myself, you feel me? Because it's my career.
What did you like about
Yeah, Georgia State, man, from the beginning, they welcomed me in, you feel me, let me know I'm gonna have an opportunity to play here, you feel me, and I feel like what they put in position for me personally, it helps me, and you feel me, it keeps me in a great mindset. Everybody's around here. I'm comfortable to everybody. I can speak to everyone, you feel me, openly, and that's just wonderful for me, you feel me, being comfortable.
who else you like in your receiver room?
Oh man, I like everybody, but man, this one kid named Kyle Washington, man, he came in polished for real. Like I definitely respect this game.